Hello, NCC TV viewers. I am Waynna Dobson, and I am pleased to welcome you to Your County at Work, where we show your county tax dollars at work. Today, we are at the Department of Special Services Dispatch, and I am pleased to introduce you to the radio communication operator, Margaret Leonetti. Thank you for taking time out today, Margaret. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for asking. Can you please describe to us your duties here at Dispatch?
Well, our day starts at 6 a.m. There's two dispatch areas. This one is a radio communicator. This radio particular does the pump stations, the treatment plants of Newcastle County.
Mm-hmm.
And it also does park maintenance, electricians, and plumbers. And then there's a second radio on the other side of the room that does sewer maintenance and construction of the Newcastle County.
Okay, so you've already told us that you're the one that does the pumps.
Right.
Okay, so can you explain to us like what type of calls, what kind of problems people would call in reference to that?
Well, sometimes if they call and they have a backup in their house and they're close to a pump station, sometimes if it's a pump station that has a problem, we would send both our pump maintenance personnel and our sewer maintenance personnel to check the lines in the area to see what the problem is.
Okay, so do you hear from the public directly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we take direct calls from the public and we decipher where that call goes. It could even go to an engineer who they need to be connected to the sewer, or their line is backed up. We would put that call in and enter it, and then it would go to a supervisor, and he would take a crew out to check the main and clean it, root cut, or whatever it needs to be.
Okay, so what would you say would be your biggest challenge that you face every day getting calls here on the dispatch?
I think maybe if I get a quantity of calls plus the radio is busy, and then we get a lot of meetings here, I have to do all three at the same time at this seat.
Okay, I did notice while we were prepping to get ready that people were coming up to the window,
Right.
And then so if that happened, then you would have to like ask them to kindly wait,
Right.
answer the phone, do the radio.
Exactly.
So you're a wonderful woman.
Thank
You're doing
you.
great things. You're so very welcome. So okay, so are you busy from when you sit down at 6 o'clock till you leave?
Well, I have to do my paperwork, which entails I do the scheduling, what our group does, what times they work, and I have to submit that to the secretaries. And then my radio starts at 7 a.m.
Okay, 7, okay. And how many calls would you say you would get on a daily basis?
Well, that all depends. If it's a rainy day or even a snow day, it depends on the lines. When it's real cold out, the lines will freeze up and it'll cause some problems at some homes, or it may not. If it rains a lot of times there'll be an overflow from the Del Dot drainage lines into our lines, and it'll cause our lines to back up.
Okay.
So it all depends on the day.
Right.
It just varies.
Got you. So do you find yourself having to educate the public that calls in?
Yes.
Okay. So what type of information do you have to share with them?
Well, a lot of times the public doesn't realize that they have different lines that come into their house. They think their water lines and their sewer lines are the same thing. And there's two separate pipes. If, say, they have discolored water in their home, that would be their water company.
Okay.
If they have a sewage backup or their basement's backing up, they would call us, and we could check our line to make sure it's not us, and then we would tell them to call a plumber if it's not us.
Thank you so very much. Viewers, I know I just learned something new. I had no idea that was the case. So I would have been one of those uneducated homeowners calling you for one thing when it was really the other thing. So thank you for sharing that tidbit with us. Triage. I hear you get triage calls as well.
Well, you know, we have engineers in this building and lawyers and all. It depends on the calls we get. We have to decipher where that call goes. A lot of times a person will have a problem and we have subcontractors. And if, you know, they have a problem from their house, we have to determine whether it was from that subcontractor or not. If it is, we'd have to shoot that over to engineering so they could handle it from there to contact the subcontractor.
Okay, great. Margaret, outside of the calls, you all also monitor the cameras and access cards of all
Yes.
the county employees?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have camera system that for our base that we monitor, and we also have a screen that monitors the county buildings on who goes in and out the doors, which some of the doors we can actually open.
Okay, very good.
This is our telemetry board. It shows us all the alarms for Newcastle County pump stations and treatment plants. If you notice any of the alarms on here, this says Newport. It says see computer on this one, so we have to walk over here and check this computer and click on Newport to find out what the problem is when the lights are on the board. And it's showing you here there's a communications fail. So it possibly might be just the phone lines. We would send a telemetry person, electrician out to that station. Any other ones would come up, would bring on the main menu, and they would light up or blink up here in the letters. Sometimes if we have any power fails or anything at the station, if Delmarva has a power fail in the area, it'll come up across the bottom of this, power fail at that certain station, and it'll show up on the board also.
My name is Dawn Daniels, and I am a dispatcher for the sewer department, special service rather. The part that I handle back here is for the sewer. For the guys, I actually take calls from the people of Newcastle County in reference to their problems that they're having within their house. I dispatch all the guys from this radio here, as well as place everything into this system here that lets me know who has to go out, what's the problem, is it a sewer backup, is it a clean out situation, is it drainage. We have all of this information on our CityWorks system here. We have the front door, we have gate C, gate A, gate B, gate D, and gate E. So we're able to see the ins and comings and goings of everyone coming into our site, as well as inside the Connor building. I'm able to see everything and everyone that's coming in and out of any of the entrances. This computer here lets me see everyone in the county. Any county employee, when they swipe their card, I'm able to see where they're swiping, where they're going, how many times they're coming and going. I'm able to see everything from this site here.
Hope you enjoyed our very first episode of Your County at Work. Thanks to our County Executive Thomas P. Gordon, our Executive Producer James McDonald, and our Director Antonio Prado. Behind the scene was Lisa Lancaster, Rob Paolo, and Wilmington University's intern Nash. Please stay tuned for more exciting episodes of Your County at Work. This is Waynna Dobson signing off.